Welcome on in, everybody. Thank you for being here. This is our midweek connection. And we have not been doing midweek connection this way for a while. So I am checking in with you. I'm hoping that it's coming through loud and clear. And you know what? Tonight, I really don't have a whole lot planned. I just kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit on where we've been in our talks or in our meditation time together. And so we'll just give everybody a few moments to come on in the room. If you don't mind, share this link to your page, share this stream to your page, and we'll get things going. We're once again back to doing midweek check-in, our midweek connection on Wednesdays at 7. And then, of course, our meditation Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Sundays, of course, our live stream, Sunday morning connection. And following, for everyone who's wondering, if you are wondering, following the midweek connection, which will be a lot of times 20 to 25, 30 minutes tops. Most of the time it'll be 30 minutes tops, unless the preacher gets long-winded. And since we don't have a preacher, I don't think we have to worry about that. Then the discussion group will begin following that. So make sure that if you're interested, I'll say it this way, if you're interested in being a part of that book discussion, there will be an alert go out following midweek connection, where Patricia Leffler will be continuing to walk us through Pema Chodron's book, Welcoming the Unwelcome. So we welcome you here right now. I'm just going to check real quick and make sure that we are coming through here. Just give me a moment. Make sure that folks know that we are here and in the room. And I'll get things going. Let's see here. All right. I know some had mentioned that you were missing this gathering together, so I wanted to make sure that we could provide that for you in case you are missing that. And we will occasionally have a guest on with us, someone to come on and share, and I think you would enjoy that. Here's our midweek connection. Sharing that to another page. Okay. I hope you've been enjoying the meditation. The series we're in, really last week and this week, is about letting go. It's about releasing. And it's also becoming more like water, understanding the waterway just a little more. And I think that that's an important study for us to be in. And I hope that you're enjoying that. The idea of letting go sounds great, and many of us talk about it, but fewer of us do it. And I think it's important for us to exercise that art of letting go. Let's see here. I want to make sure, because I'm running things different this evening than I normally do, I want to make sure that the music is not too loud over the voice, and that the voice is not too loud over the music. Again, I'm flying solo here. Normally Carrie she helps me on Sunday live streams, but in the evenings, that's really the only time she gets to have some downtime after the busy days at the dealership. So she offered to help, and I was like, no, I got this. So I'm thinking hopefully she's chilling. All right, so let's talk just a little bit about letting go and why I seem to be so mildly obsessed with it. One of the reasons is because I think even our beliefs and our ideas about how we live life, the philosophies of life, even our beliefs, can sometimes get in the way of truth. The truth comes to set us free. I think it's interesting that that's the terminology that's used. The truth will set you free, whereas often beliefs will lock you up or lock you down. One of the best things to use to stand in the way of truth is belief. And there's an old quote, and I can't remember who said it, but it basically says, the one who can lead you to believe absurdities is the one who can lead you to commit atrocities. And some of the biggest atrocities in the history of humanity have been committed by people who have been committed to a particular belief system, and that belief system guided them so much. And I want us to be really mindful that no matter how strongly we may believe something, let's always leave room for truth. Let's always leave room for that to move through us as well. You know, I don't want to be crude, but you eat food and you gather that food into your body and you utilize the nutrition, but there's an exit plan. I'll just leave it at that. There's an exit plan. The same is true for drinking water or anything else. There's an exit plan always. So I like how the Lord's Prayer, as we've called it, says, give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. You know, it leads us to believe that there's going to be more coming tomorrow, right? And so I'm letting go as I'm receiving. I'm letting go because I'm understanding that the knowledge that I receive today is for today. It may work for tomorrow because some things are universally true, but I don't want to hold on to anything. I want to be able to allow it to move through and away from me. I want to utilize it. I want to appreciate the truths that come. I want to appreciate the nutrition that comes to my spirit, soul, and my body, but I don't want to hold on to it. So it's important for us to always be letting go or holding loosely to what we think we know. I think I've mentioned to you before that I know is a blind spot. I don't know is wide open opportunity. I know is a blind spot. You know, like I absolutely know this. And there are so many people convinced that what they believe is absolutely true. And it may be. They may have truth in them. They may have some truth in their belief system. But the only way for the truth to truly set us free is for us to realize that truth is a journey, not a destination. We don't necessarily arrive at it. It's a journey, and we're on a journey rather than arriving to a particular truth. So the truth sets us free. I believe that's ongoing. It's happening. The truth is ever flowing to, through, and as us. So this is one of the reasons that I may come across as mildly obsessed with the idea of letting go, because I do believe we are receiving and we're letting go. It's the same thing as breathing. We breathe in, we breathe out. So receive truth, receive those aha moments, but receive them with loose hands. Don't try to choke them down, because the truth is always constantly setting us free, and it sends us on a journey. So I know can stand in the way a lot of times of the truth. I may believe some things strongly. I believe that meditation is perhaps the single most important modality toward waking up to your consciousness awareness, who you are in God and God in you, being as you in the world. I believe that, but I'm also open to there being another modality that can work and can be used as well, because I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to get addicted to the mechanism that gets me there. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to you. So, you know, reading the Tao verse that is guiding us this week for our meditation time, I just want to read that to you for a moment. Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water, yet for dissolving the hard and the inflexible, nothing can surpass it. The soft overcomes the hard, the gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but few decide to put it into practice. And this is where I want to go with this for just a second. Be a part of the few. Just because it says few, it's not prophesying that that's the way it's supposed to be. It's saying few, but the truth is that the more of us that do it, the more of us that do this and put this into practice, the less we'll be saying few. It's saying that that's the problem. One of the problems that we have in our world is that many of us don't act or practice this ebb and flow of being like water and being like the breath, receiving and giving. And so let's be a part of the few who set ourselves free to live this life following the way, which is really what Tao means. Tao means the way, to Ching, the virtue of the way. That's really what Tao Te Ching, reading it backwards, Ching, the virtue of the way. Tao Te Ching. And why do I talk about the Tao so much? Well, it's one of the most influential and inspiring ancient documents that even predates Christianity by 600 years. And it's also the second bestseller only to the Bible as far as wisdom. There are many people who say that it's the wisest book that was ever written, and I concur with that in many ways, that it's one of the wisest books ever written. 81 short verses, powerfully delivered by Lao Tzu. And I don't want to go into all the history of that. Many of you already know the history of that, but Tao is simply the way. In other words, you really can't name God. The reason we use the title God, I was in a very short discussion with someone on Bishop Carlton Pearson's page the last couple of days about this, and she is convinced that Carlton's use of the word universe is not proper, that he's not talking about her God as she said it. My response to that will always be probably not, because if you own a God, then you and I are not even talking about the God of the universe or source. In fact, when we start thinking we're talking about God, we're already talking way too small. This is the truth that can set us free. Somebody can call it universe, they can call it source, they can call it the I am, they can say Elohim, they can say Jehovah, they can say Allah, they can say folding chair. The name really doesn't matter. It's the essence that matters, and that essence is on the inside of you. In fact, the only personality God has in the earth is yours and mine. Whoa. Try that on for size for just a moment. That you are the presence and the presentation of God in the earth. And whether somebody's calling it universe or calling it source or the I am, which is Old Testament, Yahweh, I'm probably butchering the way that's supposed to be said, but it's an impersonal pronoun. That's the reference we find in that narrative in the scripture where Moses is standing in front of the burning bush. And the voice says to him, you just tell them I am that I am sent you. So the power that you have is to live in that I amness, and that really is the way. That's Tao to me, Tao. So let's practice the waterway, which is Tao, and know that the gentle overcomes the rigid, the soft overcomes the hard. Therefore the master remains serene even in the midst of sorrow. Evil cannot enter his or her heart. Because he has given up helping, he is people's greatest help. It's doing less and getting more done. It's resting, and the rest will get taken care of. It's being at peace. In the Psalms of the Hebrew Bible, David writes, be still and know I am God. In fact, let me let you in on a secret before we close out this evening. The I am that I am is within you, and to anything material in this world, you are the God presence over that material thing. That's why it matters that you know this. I'll take us back again to the narrative I was mentioning a moment ago with Moses, who meets the I am, the Yahweh, the impersonal pronoun that became later known as God. God is a title, not a name. In that same narrative, the voice speaking from the burning bush says to Moses, I am going to send you to Pharaoh, and you will be God to Pharaoh. Now, I want you to think about that. You will be God to Pharaoh. In other words, you will be the divine presence standing in front of Pharaoh. So in all of your situations and circumstances, you have an opportunity in every given moment to be a host to your ego or a host to God, and to be God in the material world that we live in. That is your calling. It is my calling. And it's simple, and yet we're not taught that. No one, I don't know very many people who are taught from an early age that you are God, that you are that pure presence. I'm doing my best to teach my children that. You are the divine presence in the earth. Yes, you. You don't have to look outside of you. In fact, I would suggest not looking outside of you. I would suggest to you that looking outside of you causes you to miss it. You are the presence of God in this earth. Amen. Can I get a witness? Somebody. All right, all right, all right. Well, I want to say thank you for joining me this evening. Now, here's what I'm thinking about doing, and I want to know from you if this was something that would be of interest to you. When I used to do midweek check-ins, or midweek check-ins, where I'm calling it midweek connection now, but midweek check-ins, we did a walk through the Tao Te Ching, but we got stuck. We never finished it. So I am considering doing a walk through the Tao again and starting at verse 81 and moving backwards. And trying to make it a full series. I would like to make it ultimately a full series on YouTube, so that when people type in Tao or Tao Te Ching, that would pop up so that people could have it available to them. What are your thoughts on that? How many of you would be interested in doing that on Wednesday evenings as our midweek check-in? Just let me know what you're thinking. And also, again, like I say, I want to have some guests on every once in a while also to share with us. Before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to all of you who continue to support this community and make it possible for us to continue bringing this message of freedom to the world. If you are giving to this community, you are helping to make that happen. On the screen right now are the different ways that you can give. Thank you for giving. The P.O. Box is right there, 564, P.O. Box 564, Gray, Georgia 31032. Our PayPal, onelovespiritcenter@gmail.com. That just seems to be the fastest way to locate it. And on Venmo, we are One Love. So please continue to give. Those of you who have not been giving up to this point, we want you to know that it doesn't make you any more important than anyone else to give. But it does help us to do this. In other words, we're radically inclusive, so you're not going to get extra points with God if you give. However, when you do give, I do believe that what you're saying to the universe and what you are saying to the divine presence is that I trust you with everything that I have, including my money. You can never outgive Source, because Source is always giving, making Source eternal. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Remember, the book study is going to be guided by Patricia following this live stream. And so look for her to come on and share with you following this live stream here in just a few minutes. I love you very much. And as I always say, go and make it a great day, because you can. I love you. Peace.